think this morning, maybe we just want to hear your feedback on, we have gone through TOEFL, and then of course we talked about the sensitivity on the hybrid IT ECI platform, and then of course TC brought you through some of other extension of use case with your Aruba platform that you already have invested. So, and obviously, I think one of the agendas is to talk about collaboration. How do we collaborate for use, future use case? So, just now during break, I had a short conversation to talk about. HPE has a innovation lab co-funded by EDB. Right, so we have about 40 engineers, data scientists, engineers sitting here to work on innovation or co-innovation solutions with our customer partner, right? To look at use new idea, right? Co-create some new ideas, and also the one of the charter of the innovation lab is also to incubate startup in Singapore. Right, so when we incubate startup, meaning that we always raise the Singapore flag, bring them out to Indonesia, bring them out to different part of the region to sell and allow the startup to have access to the region. So this is one area that we can open for discussion. I understand also you have the intention of building your own lab. Right, so that's where I think we have a potential collaboration in those areas. So maybe I just want to open up the floor to say, to hear your feedback and what are the areas that you saw this morning that we want to take it further in terms of exploration with HPE. Any quick?
What you like, what you don't
like,
like,
what you like,
who you like, who you don't
I
like.
know that you want color to the beacon.
Yeah.
I guess first of all, thanks Sean and the team from HPE for the sharing session. I think it's very insightful. Yeah. So I guess the Aruba session is very useful for us to get us know about the capabilities, and I think we really appreciate about the in-depth kind of ability that this Aruba can do beyond just the Wi-Fi tracking, but being able to integrate our CRM, for example. I think those are all very useful features. Yeah. And I guess, at least from the Garrett ourselves, I guess we also get a BCM. So in the backup, I think system is something that is of interest for us as well.
Okay.
We're looking into that as well. And I think for smart tagging, I think that's another thing that for Gary, our team are looking at. Being able to allow us to know in real time where the assets being deployed in Gary. I think that's something that's very useful and so very relevant for our operations team. So at least for these three touch points, I think that's very relevant for us. Innovation lab, we are actively looking at the second one to put up all to help us future proof, helping us to envision what is the future of museum. So we are actively working with people from the IHLs and also from the industry to look at prototyping and being able to deploy some of these technologies in-house in our gallery. And as I've shared with you just now, STEM is going to undergo renovation, and after that they're going to the innovation center as well. So there will be potential interest from STEM as well to see any projects that we are keen to work with you on the innovation aspects. Maybe from STEM and business that we are keen.
Everything we hear today is very useful. Innovation-wise, we are still exploring what we want to really implement for the new museum, because it's still how many years away? Three years away from the opening. We are still getting in ideas. It is still quite early to fix on what we really want yet. Yeah. So we're doing a lot of collaboration with National Gallery and even the other we are very open to this innovation collaboration to see what can benefit both sides.
Personally, for me, I was pretty impressed with the Purple Wi-Fi presentation. Partly because with the various people that, the various presentations I've had, I mean, various vendors I've met previously, usually they come with, something really cool, like, okay, we have this, but there hasn't been much think through about how the real application of it,
Right.
and what how it actually meets the needs of. They just have something cool to try and sell you, basically. And whether it completely meets your needs and whether it can be customized to do exactly what you need it to do, all those remain to be seen. So it was nice to see in this case that maybe because it has been already tested with some really reliable customers, so you know that certain things have already been addressed. Are we able to send a push message at this point? Yes, in fact, here it is. The answer was all right there.
Can cover a more
Yeah.
holistic view of
So that was really cool.
our work processes or what
Yeah.
we are doing.
Okay, good.
It's because Purple already went through with the gallery. We already bring them in, we show them exactly what is required of a museum. So that's why more or less today is more relevant in our context.
Yeah, I think that definitely that's where from our technology, we always believe from the perspective that we can't do everything by ourselves. So we actually embrace a lot of ecosystem partners to come in to work together with us. So similarly, we know that even as we are talking to the university in Singapore, right? So from the whole smart campus transformation, there's a lot of plan and talk about smart campus, and these are the technology that we actually introduce to them to how to interact better with the students. Because these days, the student is not like my time. We are very obedient and very compliant. These days the students, I was hearing from the professor, my increment is subjected to the student's evaluation. Okay, if the student tell me that I don't deliver a good lecture, I am on review. Right? So that is the type of society.
Should we do that for our
that
DLs?
we're going through. Yeah, I mean in the past, whatever the professor say, or the tutor say, do this and we will do it. These days, they rate the lectures, they do a lot of interaction, right? And obviously we were talking about how to engage the student better within the campus. Similarly, we are also embracing some of these technology partners to look at not to track the student, but actually to provide the service to the student, even push out the bidding list for them. They can reserve a book. In fact, it will be a lights out library. Library, lights out library meaning that they don't have to go and browse the thing. Automatically they can pick the book and then send to the place for them, right, to pick up.
Wow.
So these are the things.
You should come here earlier.
Huh?
This thing.
Yeah.
So there's a campus in US called Bryanston
Yes.
School. I can't remember the exact name now. They use beacons on the student notice boards. So when the students get near to there, they actually get pushed what we call supplementary materials at their level for their based on the results, and so they profile the students. When they get the notification, they understand who the students is.
All the analytics engine behind, and based on their academic, we profile their learning journey and academic, and then we push out
Right.
the materials for them for supplementary reading and all those. But of course, they can take attendance, and in fact, they also even use there was also exploration, because university campus is quite large. One of the idea was about water conservation. Right? So water conservation means that I use less water. And guess how the Aruba can help you use less water, right? Because we can track how frequently the toilets are being used. If only used once a day, because it's a very remote corner toilet, don't bother to send in the cleaner to clean the toilet, right? So that itself, save them water, right? Because not every toilet will be, of course, they are, they only use once a day or they never use at all. So why go in and start cleaning the toilet again and use it? Because they have to just sign the paper behind the door, the cleaner. Right, so these are things.
Which means you need a Wi-Fi coverage in the toilet too, okay?
So that's where some of these ideas is being used. Even very small, the cleaning toilet. So we are exploring.
And then, by the way, the demand is getting real. People want Wi-Fi in the toilets too.
Yeah.
We see that.
Challenge.
Right, so it may not be Wi-Fi. It can be even with beacon. It can be on a 4G coverage. We can actually know how frequent the facility is being used as well. All right. Okay,
People actually watch video when they crap,
Huh?
People actually watch video when they crap,
Of course. Of course. I just received a call. I was talking to somebody. Can I call you back? I said, why? Because I'm in the toilet. Right. Okay. Any
other feedback?
areas,
Yeah.
In terms of innovation, right, I just want to find out how we can potentially collaborate, because we used to work with, say, other partners like Google, right? So they were actually more interested in selling their products or asking us to actually use their platform or products, right? And then at the end of the day, when we want to say, okay, we want to create a prototype with your product, and then they say, okay, then you go and source your own engineers or SIs to implement our product with potentially, say, our app, for example, right? And then we are in, okay, we have this product, but then again, we have to source for other people to use this product and then develop something. So this become like a hassle or something like that. So I just want to find out whether if we collaborate with, say, HPE, do you have like a pool of people or engineers that can help us to create, say, some quick POC products, right? Fast, cheap, good, and then actually we can say, okay, maybe this will work, or maybe this doesn't really work.
Okay, maybe let me cite a few examples for you from how we collaborate with customer and partner. Right. So let me go from far to in. Right. So for example, we did a POC with a Hong Kong power company. Right. So actually that case was actually more on IoT. We wasn't selling any product to them. Right. It was a case where there are a lot of false alarm in their substation. Right. So we actually went in, right, to look at a POC, to look at how do we reduce the false alarm rate. Right. We are not implementing the whole, doing it for the entire. So we actually go in and show them a proof of concept to look at how do we reduce the false alarm rate. So we are able to reduce the false alarm rate by 80%, right? So that they can better position the service engineer there are other initiatives also. We work with a hospital, not in Singapore, to look at image, right? So we look at PACS images. So the challenge of today's healthcare is that a lot of doctors like to prescribe or prescribe. You go for MRI scan, you go for angiography, but the back end supporting this request is there's not enough radiographer to interpret the images. Right? So what we use actually is we're using AI to look at how do we interpret. Of course, it will not take over the doctor's role, right? But we do a first pass to look at how the image. Then I will take priority to review this particular patient. Right? So that now back in Singapore. Right? So we work with LTA very much to look at if you plan to go Copenhagen in October, right? So we actually show a national, so we collaborated with LTA, we show a national traffic planning and look at how the commuting patterns of the citizens in Singapore. All right. So and I have to give credit, okay, to the whole URA team. Okay, not LTA. You know, I say not LTA in the sense that we were so successful in how our urban planning. It actually shows how successful Singapore in urban planning to reduce the commute between the places. Right, so in there, we actually be able to tell that this person is actually a resident in Jurong, and how their patterns, they are traveling on weekdays and on weekends. Right, so they how many percent they are traveling inside there and how many percent traveling out of Jurong. Right, and then what is their mode? So I have, you know, people coming, staying in Jurong, you know, where they go working, and then how they spend their evening, you know. So all these are being not monitored, tracked, but those are all data that we can get out from that LTA provide us. We actually implement, or rather showcase this portal, right, of how the national commute pattern, all right, and also the availability of roads and how fast the jam is being cleared per day. Right, we showcased that last year in Canada. This year we are showcasing that in Copenhagen. Right, so we are preparing, and HPE has been a very strong partner with LTA. So we are also helping LTA to prepare for ITS World Congress in 2019 in Singapore. Right, so it's going to be a big event in Singapore that will bring the world down to Singapore to look at our famous ERP system. Okay, ERP 2.0 will be discussed, and then I'll talk about our autonomous vehicle initiatives in Singapore. So these are the things that we are of course there are other projects that we sell our product to LTA, but this itself, it is not a product sell. It was a collaboration of how do we bring the information. We just get the information, we bring the information and tell the world how Singapore built our transport system and very effective in our transport system. Alright, so I hope I can share with a few idea of the collaboration that we can work together. Okay, I mean, you know, it is not limited to this, you know, we can think about it, all right? What are the areas, you know, so from a capability perspective, we have software engineers, we have data scientists in here. You know, we can actually look at how we can put some ideas together, working together. So we also have, from an incubation perspective, we have actually incubated a smart street lighting company in Singapore, and we are successful in bringing them to Taiwan, all right, in Taoyuan, and to implement smart street lighting in Taoyuan, all right. So looking at putting a smart street lighting there. We also brought them to India, Indonesia.
Yeah, the transportation, railways, analytics or something, I remember.
Yeah. So there's quite a number of cases where we also did one optimization of in India, optimization of the train, because the train, how do you optimize the capacity of the train between cargo as well as passenger, right?
So some of the techs that previously I've seen in HP that I'm interested in is something to do with preventive maintenance.
Okay.
We have a lot of lifts, we have escalators.
Yes.
So
Those are IoT use cases.
correct. So how can we help the facility team to do predictive type of maintenance instead of being passive, waiting for the equipment to fail before they react to it?
Right. So we also have partnered one local company. You know, leaf is a very sensitive topic in Singapore as well, right? So you know, there were, I think last year was the worst. There were a lot of news about leaves, right? And leaves, when I say sensitive, it's not. It is a very important piece of machinery for the citizens in Singapore, large part of the citizens in Singapore, and because of the bad experience and a lot of press issue, so you know, HDB are looking at how to be better. Today the leaf is being monitored, right? But are they well planned for preventive maintenance? That's a different story, right? Now the challenge is that there are more than 10 suppliers of leaf. From the 1970s, maybe the 70s leaf are already been upgraded, right? So they have a leaf that is 80s all the way to the new one. Okay, there are more than 10 different vendors. Now integrating the information is a challenge. Okay, you can't tap inside because you say I tap that system. I'm sorry, your warranty is void. When I connect it in there, so how do we handle that? So we actually work with a company. We actually are able to look at the acoustic of the leaf. We can look at the accelerator, how they accelerate. We even can tell you without integrating. We know that the leaf is at 7th floor because today even if it's all in our iPhone also, right? So you know how it accelerates and how much time it accelerates. You know the leaf is at which floor very accurately without interfacing to the leaf system. Okay, so these are the things that we can monitor the acoustic of the leaf because from a machinery perspective, acoustic tells a lot of problem. Okay, acoustic tells a lot of problem. So we know that based on this usage, this type of acoustic characteristic, and we can actually know that it's going to fail with all the analytics. So these are the things that we can do, and similarly, even when we talk about smart campus, right? How do we manage the power, the electricity, aircon, when there is no, nobody around? Do you need to power on certain facility? Right, so these are the things that is something that we can look at in level 5 IoT lab. We have a lot of this. In fact, just now when Pichong brought you all to the demo, I think was the
immersion zone 2.
Was the machine there?
Yeah,
the
turbine machine.
The turbine machine.
Yeah,
Right, so we
turbine.
actually have a small little demo on the turbine machine to look at the fan, right? How the fan is failing. We can do a predictive monitoring.
I think what we are key is also to look at the command center or dashboard for our business operation. We have to keep track of all these different facilities.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So at the corner also you can see there's a lot of little small gadget like a big panel. Maybe you'll have walk past. Later on we will walk past.
Yeah, we will walk past.
Right. So those are our mock-up sensors. All right. Mock-up sensors from the IoT because we have a humidity sensor there, acoustic sensor there. We have video camera, video analytics in there. So all connected to a command center software. So and this command center is not just about displaying information. It allows you to do your response. Right. So you can capture. So when this happens, do this. All right.
Actually, we are interested in calculating how much, based on the voltage, how much, in money terms, how much we're going to spend. Let's say if we're going to launch an exhibition of this size, how much electricity are we planning to consume so that we can better so-called budget the expenses.
Okay, so it's more the modeling of the
And
energy.
we should know that this route there's fewer people taking, we shouldn't on the full lighting, we should alternate lighting or half power.
Okay. Yeah, certainly these are really a lot of discussion. I had a lot of discussion with this, and we are conducting a workshop on the 14th. Was it 14th? There's one institution coming in to 2 days workshop in our to look at how do we manage the smart campus. Right. So it's a Singapore education. So coming here for 1.5 days to look at some of these use case, and it's a workshop that we are working with them to define some of these challenges as well as what are the part of.
On the wireless LAN side, Aruba actually has a acquisition that we made recently, which we renamed as Net Insights. The original company name is called Rasa. And what Net Insights enable us to do is to basically use AI to understand usage pattern on your wireless LAN. And the good thing about it is that it enables us to do green Wi-Fi. And what it means by that is that understanding the pattern of usage is able to actually reduce or shut down APs to save electricity consumption or PoE consumption on your switches, and provide coverage, right? So meaning in a say that if your museum is going to have some events, you obviously need to cater for a certain number of people and the Wi-Fi load, capacity planning. But then it's not all the time that you have such big events. Then what happens when you have lesser events? All your APs are still on and running 24/7. It can consume. In fact, the wireless standards are now coming to a point where the power consumption is just keep getting higher. Previously was AF, now AT, and then you're going to go AT plus. There's new standards coming up.
Yeah, because all these will be a concern because Gary is trying to aim to be a green mark.
Right.
We need to go for certification.
Mm-mm.
So yearly there will be review. Then if good, then we can bring down this power usage even lower than this. I think would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So exactly. So with Net Insights, you now have the ability to do that. In fact we demoed that at the US Atmosphere conference just a couple of months ago, where they show how within the conference area, when people move away from the what we call the keynote area,
So
the APs.
Upcoming Bangkok Atmosphere will this be showcased?
We're trying to get that done. So it's that's a very interesting demo.
Okay, all right. We can continue to discuss.
All right,
I think
we'll have-
thank you for the great feedback and also some of the initiatives. Certainly, we will arrange again to look at some in-depth discussion on the collaboration. Right, so I have actually set some example, and the intent is that you can bring it back, think through it. We can arrange another session to visit our lab at 5th floor and 6th floor, and then we can look at what are the possibilities. Okay, so we have a simple lunch prepared at the. So we will walk back to the CEC, the immersion zone area. You can see all the sensor in there. All right, so certainly we can